frustrated Metrobus passengers have taken to the streets, marching from Gandhi Square to the Metrobus offices in Braamfontein. The protest is aimed at highlighting ongoing dissatisfaction with poor and unreliable services, which commuters say have disrupted their lives. For more on this, let's bring in SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo, who joins us now live from Gandhi Square in Johannesburg. And Ofentse, this protest started quite early, presumably during peak hour traffic in the morning. Help us get a sense of what exactly the people there are calling for.
Good morning to you, Ayanda. Well, I can tell you that around 6 o'clock this morning, some of the commuters were actually trying to prevent other fellow commuters from actually going inside the buses and traveling to work. This as they are saying that they are not happy with the introduction of the tap-in, tap-out system. Previously, what would happen is that you would actually pay once, regardless of the number of transfers you would take going on the trip. But now there's a situation where you actually have to pay per trip. So if you're leaving from Soweto and you're coming to Gandhi Square, you're going to pay for that trip. And then from Gandhi Square to go elsewhere, you're going to pay for that trip separately. So they're saying that, it has some financial implications in their pockets, as they feel that, already their fares were quite high. So now having to pay per trip, it actually overburdens them even further, where they will have to now dig deeper into their pockets in terms of funding their trips, commuting to work. But earlier on, we were speaking to Tshepo Nathan, who is the spokesperson for Metrobus, and he was actually telling us that, unfortunately, the system was not equitable, as people were not paying per trip or per kilometers that they had traveled. So he's saying that, it was unfair on the operator itself, as they would incur losses, because now people would travel a very long distance and only paying for just a short distance. So they thought that, the new system would have actually helped to keep Metrobus afloat. They were actually telling us that in as much as there was an assertion from the protesters saying that they were not informed timelessly that there were going to be these increases, and that they were not able to prepare on time in order to budget for these trips. He's saying that they actually gave the commuters about 30 days in order to prepare for the changes that were actually coming. And he's saying that there was a regular engagement with the commuters to ensure that they are aware of the system that's actually coming, saying that to a certain extent they were incurring losses, like I mentioned, and they felt that in order for them to have an equitable system, they would have to now introduce this one, which is the tap-in. So you basically tap in when you get inside the bus, and when you leave, you have to tap out, and it's actually going to bill you based on the distance that you've actually traveled. So most commuters are saying it's not working for them. In fact, they braved the cold weather this morning to be out here to vent their frustrations with this new system that is being introduced. I was supposed to actually speak to Tshepo Nathan. He was just here now. I'm not actually aware as to where he disappeared to, but we'll definitely try to get that particular response. As I mentioned, that he did talk to us, and he mentioned that, to a certain extent, they've tried to engage the commuters, and it's a system that they had to introduce as they were incurring losses.
Friends, I'm hoping you're able to hear us still, notwithstanding the noise there behind you, but are you able to give us a sense of just how much services there have been disrupted, if at all, as a result of this protest?
Well, I can tell you that, to a certain extent, the services have not been disrupted a lot, but most of the commuters were actually trying to discourage fellow commuters from actually going inside the buses and going to work. So most of them were actually protesting. Another thing that Tshepo actually mentioned, Tshepo Nathan, was the fact that, it's actually not everyone. Other commuters are commuting to work and they are not part of this strike. And he sort of asserted that there could be, a third force that's actually funding this gathering here to sort of disrupt services.
All right, Ofentse Setimo, we'll touch base with you a little later on, hopefully when we can get Metrobus's response to this ongoing protest. But for now, thanks very much indeed.